shadows cast by the light of your own divine nature. Consider the experience you have. Every circumstance in your life is a reflection of your state of consciousness. The world you see around you is nothing more than your own self pushed out. It is a mirror showing you the contents of your own mind. When you feel tempted to give up, what you're really seeing is a projection of your own doubts and fears. But here's the liberating truth. Just as you have the power to imagine defeat, you have the equal power to imagine victory. You have the God-given ability to choose your state of consciousness. And in choosing, you create your reality. Let me share with you a principle that has transformed countless lives. Imagination creates reality. Your imagination is not some idle fancy or frivolous daydream. It is the very workshop of creation. When you imagine you engaging the same creative power that spoke the universe into existence. So when you say, I cannot give up, you are not merely making a statement of determination. You are, in fact, planting a seed in the fertile soil of infinite possibility. You are decreeing the truth about yourself and your world, and the universe has no choice but to conform to this truth. Now, some of you might be thinking, but Neville, I've tried to persist, and yet I still face failure and disappointment. To this, I say, failure is impossible. What you perceive as failure is simply the bridge of incidents leading to your desired end. It is the universe rearranging itself to accommodate your new state of consciousness. Remember, the outer world always lags behind the inner world. Just because you don't see immediate results doesn't mean your imaginal act hasn't taken root. The seed must be given time to grow. Your job is not to make things happen, but to maintain the state of consciousness of already having what you desire. Let's practice this now. I want you to close your eyes and imagine a scene that implies you have already achieved your goal. Make it as vivid and real as possible. Engage all your senses. Feel the emotions you would feel if your desire were already fulfilled. Here's the crucial part. You must feel the naturalness of this state. It must feel normal, not extraordinary. This is the secret of successful imagining. As you open your eyes, carry this feeling with you. Let it permeate your entire being. This is what it means to live from the end. You are not working towards your goal. You are living from the state of its fulfillment. From this perspective, giving up becomes not just undesirable, but utterly impossible. But how can you give up on something that, in your imagination, has already come to pass? Now let us delve deeper into the nature of consciousness and its relation to the concept of not giving up. You see, consciousness is the only reality. All that you perceive as the outer world is really taking place within you. The universe exists within your consciousness, not the other way around. This understanding is crucial because it means that the power to persist, to never give up, lies entirely within you. It's not dependent on external circumstances or the actions of others. It's a choice you make in the realm of your own consciousness. When you truly grasp this truth, you'll realize that giving up is nothing more than accepting a state of consciousness that doesn't serve you. And if consciousness is the only reality, and you have the power to choose your state of consciousness, then giving up becomes a logical impossibility. Let's explore this further. Imagine for a moment that you're facing a challenge that seems insurmountable. The temptation to give up feels strong. But remember, this challenge exists only in your consciousness. It's a shadow cast by your current state of mind. Now, instead of focusing on the challenge, turn your attention to the state of consciousness where this challenge is already overcome. Feel the relief, the joy, the sense of accomplishment that comes with having moved past this obstacle. Let this feeling sink deep into your being. This is not mere positive thinking or wishful daydreaming. This is you consciously choosing to occupy a state of mind where giving up is not even a consideration. If you maintain this state, you'll find that the outer world has no choice but to restructure itself to match your inner reality. This is the law of assumption in action. You assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled, and the world reshapes itself accordingly. Now, some of you might be wondering, but what about the times when I've given up in the past? To this I say, the past exists only in your memory. It has no power over you unless you give it power. Your true power lies in the present moment, in your ability to choose your state of consciousness. In fact, even the concept of giving up is a misunderstanding of the nature of time. There's only the eternal now. In this now, you are always free to choose again, to reimagine, to reassume the state of your fulfilled desire. From this perspective, what you might have called giving up in the past was simply a temporary shift in consciousness, one that you have the power to reverse at any moment. Let's practice this principle. Think of something in your life that you've been tempted to give up on. It could be a personal goal, a relationship, a project, anything at all. Now, instead of dwelling on the reasons why you can't achieve it, I want you to do something radical. I want you to assume the state of consciousness where you've already achieved it. Close your eyes and step into that reality. See through the eyes of the version of you who has already succeeded. Feel what that version of you feels. Move how that version of you moves. Speak how that version of you speaks. Make it so real that if you were to open your eyes right now, you'd be surprised to find yourself here and not in that achieved state. This, my dear friends, is the art of living from the end. When you master this, the very idea of giving up becomes absurd. For how can you give up on something that in your consciousness has already come to pass? Now let's address a common misconception. Some people believe that this practice of assuming the state of the wish fulfilled is a form of denial or escapism. Nothing could be further from the truth. This is not about ignoring reality. Reality is not what your physical senses report. Reality is not the sum total of your past experiences. Reality is not the opinions of others or the apparent limitations of your current circumstances. Reality is consciousness. And consciousness can be changed. When you assume the state of your wish fulfilled, you're not denying current conditions. You're exercising your God-given power to choose the state of consciousness you wish to occupy. And since the outer world is nothing more than your consciousness pushed out, this choice inevitably leads to a change in your experienced reality. This understanding frees you from the tyranny of circumstances. It liberates you from the belief that you're at the mercy of external forces. It reveals the truth that you are the operant power in your life. And an operant power simply cannot give up. Consider it. Every invention, every scientific breakthrough, every work of art that has ever graced this world came into being because someone refused to give up on their vision. They held to their imagined reality despite all apparent contradictions. They lived in the consciousness of their fulfilled desire until the outer world conformed to their inner conviction. You have this same power. The power that created the universe is not outside of you. It is you. It is your very consciousness. And this power knows no failure, no defeat, no giving up. Now, I want to address something that often comes up when we discuss these principles. Some of you might be thinking, but Neville, what about the effort? Don't we need to take action in the physical world? Yes, there will be action, but it will not be the strained, anxious action of someone trying to make something happen. Instead, it will be the inspired, effortless action that naturally flows from your new state of consciousness. You see, when you truly assume the state of your wish fulfilled, you'll find yourself naturally doing the things that someone in that state would do. You won't have to force yourself. You won't have to overcome reluctance or fight against the temptation to give up. Your actions will be a natural outpicturing of your inner state. This is why it's so crucial to focus on the state of consciousness rather than on specific actions. The right actions will flow naturally from the right state of consciousness. Your job is simply to occupy the state. Let's explore this further with an example. Imagine you're an aspiring author who's been struggling to finish your first novel. You've been tempted many times to give up, to conclude that you're just not cut out for writing. Now, instead of focusing on the act of writing itself, I want you to assume the state of consciousness of being a successful author. Feel what it's like to hold your published book in your hands. Imagine seeing your name on the bestseller list. Feel the satisfaction of receiving glowing reviews from readers whose lives have been touched by your words. Live from this state. As you maintain this state, you'll find that the act of writing becomes joyful and effortless. You're no longer trying to become an author. In your consciousness, you already are one. The words flow easily because in your imaginal reality, you're simply doing what comes naturally to you as a successful author. This principle applies to every area of life. Whatever your goal, whatever you've been tempted to give up on, shift your focus from the struggle to achieve to the state of having already achieved. Lie from that state and watch as your outer world reorganizes itself to match your inner conviction. Now let's address another aspect of not giving up. The apparent passage of time. In the world of Caesar, time seems to move in a linear fashion. We speak of past, present, and future as if they were fixed realities. But in the realm of consciousness, time is fluid. Your imaginal acts do not take place in time. They take place in the timeless realm of consciousness. When you assume the state of your wish fulfilled, you're not projecting into the future. You're choosing to occupy that state now, in the only moment that truly exists, the present. This understanding frees you from the tyranny of time. It liberates you from the anxiety of when your desire will manifest. In your imagination, it has already manifested. Your job is simply to persist in this assumption. Remember, the outer world is a shadow, a reflection of your inner state. It may take time for this shadow to fully reflect your new state of consciousness. But this delay is not a reason to give up or to doubt. It's simply part of the bridge of incidents that leads to the full manifestation of your desire. In fact, this delay serves a purpose. It allows you to strengthen your faith, to deepen your understanding of these principles. Each day that you persist in your assumption, despite apparent contradictions, is a day that you're building spiritual muscle. You're proving to yourself the power of your own consciousness. So, when you're tempted to give up because things aren't happening as quickly as you'd like, remember consciousness, where all creation takes place. Your desire is already fulfilled. Time is simply allowing you to align more fully with this truth. Now, let's delve into another crucial aspect of why you cannot give up. The nature of your true self. You see, the you that feels tempted to give up is not your true self. It's a construct, a collection of beliefs and memories that you've identified with. But it's not the real you. Your true self is the I am, the pure awareness that underlies all your experiences. This I am is one with God, the creative power of the universe. And this power knows no limitations, no defeat, no giving up. When you say I am, you're invoking this infinite power. Whatever follows I am is what you're claiming as your reality. So when you say I am a failure or I am ready to give up, you're misusing this creative power. You're decreeing a limited state for yourself. Instead, align your I am statements with your desires. Say, I am successful, I am persistent, I am achieving my goals. Feel the truth of these statements. Let them sink deep into your consciousness. This is not affirmation. It's a recognition of your true nature. As you practice this, you'll find that the very idea of giving up becomes foreign to you. For how can infinite, limitless awareness ever give up? How can the creative power of the universe ever admit defeat? This understanding reveals the true meaning of faith. Faith is not believing in something despite evidence to the contrary. True faith is the evidence of things not seen. It's the absolute conviction in the reality of your imaginal acts. It's knowing that what you've imagined must come to pass. Because imagination creates reality. When you have this kind of faith, giving up becomes impossible. You know that any appearance of failure or setback is just that, an appearance. It's a shadow cast by an old state of consciousness, one that you've now moved beyond. Let's practice strengthening this faith. I want you to think of something you've been close to giving up on. Now, instead of focusing on the reasons why it hasn't worked out, I want you to vividly imagine it is already accomplished. See it, feel it, know it is real. Here's the crucial part. Carry this feeling with you throughout your day. Let it inform your thoughts, your words, your actions. Live as though your desire is already fulfilled. This is what it means to walk by faith, not by sight. As you do this, you'll find that your outer world begins to shift. People and circumstances will align to support your new state of consciousness. What once seemed impossible will start to feel inevitable. This is the power of persistent faith. The reason why you cannot give up. Now let's address something that often trips people up on this journey. The opinions and judgments of others. When you're living from the state of your wish fulfilled, when you're refusing to give up despite apparent setbacks, you may encounter skepticism or even ridicule from those around you. Remember this. Their opinions are nothing more than their own states of consciousness pushed out. They have no power over you unless you give them power. Their doubt is not a reflection of your reality. It's a reflection of their limited understanding. In fact, the doubts of others can serve as a powerful reminder to persist in your assumption. Each time you encounter disbelief, let it strengthen your resolve. Let it remind you to go deeper into the feeling of your wish fulfilled. This is what it means to be transformed by the renewing of your mind. You're no longer at the mercy of external opinions or circumstances. You're living from the inside out, creating a reality from the realm of pure consciousness. As you continue this practice, you'll find that the very concept of giving up fades from your awareness. It becomes as foreign to you as the idea of the sun deciding not to rise. You cannot give up because in your true state of being, there's nothing to give. There's only the continuous unfoldment of your divine nature. The endless expression, this understanding, brings us to a profound truth. The journey itself is the destination. The process of assuming and maintaining the state of your wish fulfilled is itself the fulfillment. For in this process, you're awakening to your true nature. You're remembering who you really are. You see, my dear friends, you are not merely seeking to achieve a goal or to acquire something. You are, in truth, seeking to remember your divine nature. Every desire you have, every goal you pursue, is really a call to awaken to your true self. When you persist in the face of apparent failure, when you refuse to give up despite all evidence to the contrary, you're doing more than just working towards a goal. You're affirming your oneness with the creative power of the universe. You're declaring your true identity as a divine being, capable of shaping reality through the power of your consciousness. This is why you cannot give up. To give up would be to deny your true nature. It would be to forget who you really are. And while you may temporarily forget, you can never truly lose this knowledge. It's the very essence of your being. So as we near the end of our time together, I want to leave you with this thought. You cannot give up because giving up is not in your nature. You are, in essence, the limitless I am. You are the creative power that shapes worlds. You are the awareness in which all experience takes place. From this perspective, every challenge, every setback, every moment of doubt is really an invitation to go deeper into your true self, an invitation to express more fully the divine power that you are. So, my dear friends, do not give up. Not on your dreams, not on your goals, and certainly not on yourself. For in persisting, in refusing to surrender to appearances, you are fulfilling the grandest purpose of all. You are remembering your true identity. You are awakening to the divine being that you are.